In a world in crisis, can three idiots find hope in the darkest of places? Will love conquer all, or will hate win out in the end? This is a show called Hate.
And welcome to a show called Hate, a podcast in which we explore love, hate, and everything in between in search of greater meaning and perhaps a little perspective. I'm John.
I'm Nick.
I'm Chris.
Hey.
Quarter century.
Is it?
Yeah,
What?
episode 25.
What?
Say what?
I wish we discussed this beforehand and we could have done something special.
Double figures, guys.
Instead, we had a pretty serious conversation about format and how we can continue to improve the show.
Yes,
That's
I'd
a
say
good way.
it's probably the most serious conversation we've ever had.
Our quarter annual general meeting.
God knows we'll never hit episode
Well, yeah.
50.
I can't imagine a world in which episode 50 exists right now.
Something will have gone horribly wrong if we get that far.
I can't imagine a world past, like, this weekend. I'm fairly certain we're all just going to melt and die.
Maybe. It could happen.
Yeah. Anything else
Let's
big?
hope it doesn't.
No, anything
Nothing else is big happening this week.
No, anything?
That's
nothing
very
else.
funny. It continues to come home this weekend.
The
football.
status
It continues.
of how home it's coming.
People know what I'm talking about.
Daddy, when will the football come home?
Soon, son.
Son. You've been saying that for 52
Yeah,
years.
I sure have.
52
But this
years.
year's the year.
This is the one.
I mean, it's a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity.
Not even being a football person. That may come as a shock to you. It does seem to the untrained eye that the stars have aligned. I don't want to say that it's in the bag or that you're definitely going to do it.
What's coming home?
However, they do actually seem like a semi-competent team. Discuss.
That might be a stretch.
yeah. I think it's very much a team effort, which is what everyone, I guess, is so happy about, because there's no real superstars. Harry Kane's the captain, he's the top scorer in the tournament, but he's not what you'd call a superstar, or he wasn't before this tournament started. Everyone knows he's a wonderful striker. 25 goals a season minimum over the last 3 years. He was always going to have a good tournament, but he's obviously exceeded expectations. 6 goals in 3 games in the World Cup. So he's the man we look to.
Wow.
That's 2 goals a game.
2 goals a game. It's
2 goals a game. That's very good.
It's very well remembered.
That's good maths.
And I've seen football games of you where no one scored anything.
That's correct.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean,
it's a completely different standard. Of football
oh,
than
I see.
We've got a very, very good chance of making at least the semi-final, if not the final.
I'm actually excited. I haven't actually watched any of it, but I keep up with it a lot because I have a decent number of friends who are very excited, Chris Ray being one of those.
Thank you.
And now I've reached the point where I kind of care. I don't know if I care enough to watch it.
No.
Might do, though. I'm considering it this weekend. But
You'd have enjoyed Tuesday night.
yeah, this is what I hear.
The Colombia game.
Yeah.
Because England have never won a penalty shootout at the World Cup. Never.
What?
It's the first time ever. It was
Wow, okay.
complete bedlam.
the thing is, I know you're in the pub.
I was in the pub.
Part of me does wish I'd been there, but kind of
Yeah.
behind like some perspex. I
Well,
kind of
I
wish
like-
there'd been like a two-way
It's
mirror.
such an infectious thing, though, isn't it? Like, I reckon we'd
You'd
get
have
swept
been
up
in there. You'd have been in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also don't want to die. I kind of feel like
It'd just be like a mosh pit.
I don't think there was any real danger to too much life.
Too much. I mean, that's...
much life.
Apart from when we all blocked the road. That was probably not completely sensible.
I can't help but feel that if someone turned to me in the kind of
Mid-game.
heat of the game and said, "Whoa, what do you think of his track record at country versus club?" I'd have.
Shat yourself.
I mean, nobody would ask you that.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah, I don't know. Or what if I said that out loud and they go, "He's not one of us."
Yeah, get him.
Lynch him!
Kill him. Yeah,
Thing is, the World Cup is a time when people who don't like football traditionally get into it.
Yeah.
I got into football during the '98 World Cup.
Oh, is that where it all began?
That's where it all began for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah,
So
interesting.
there you go.
It's one of those things where you think that because you're the outsider and you don't know anything about it, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb, and the opposite is true. Because
Nobody knows shit.
Everyone, but also everyone is so into it and so excited about it that they're not looking for the one guy who doesn't know anything.
My big takeaway from living with several football fanatics, one of whom is in the room, is that anyone can talk with authority about football.
Yeah, it doesn't have to make sense. I have watched live. I'm not counting television games here because they don't count. I've watched probably getting on for 800 football matches live. I would have thought something like that.
That's incredible.
That's
Mind you, I've
Yeah,
probably
I'd have
sunk
thought- I'd have
800
thought-
hours
I'd
into
have thought
Final
something
Fantasy
like
games.
that, yeah.
that's a hell of a claim.
I've certainly watched about 250 Gillingham games,
Good grief.
and I've been to more Cheltenham Town games than I have Gillingham games.
Wow.
Anyway,
Fair play.
I'm wrong all the time.
Mm.
I can say things and I'm like, oh this will happen, or that's going to
But
happen.
you can't predict this shit.
But you're wrong. Everyone's wrong.
I think there's something. It's almost like a very pleasing art form, football commentary. Because I mean, like, listen,
That wasn't official commentary, by the way. That was me in the pub.
no, but listening to you and Titch talk about.
I know what you're going to say.
There's a
now.
classic moment where I think when we were living together, if a game was on, as it often was of an evening, and I was just in the corner, I think working on something, and you were just watching this game, and I can't even remember what Holton said. It was something like, "You don't score those,"
No,
like just,
it was something like, "Oh, don't save those." It was
Yeah.
like a penalty. It was like we called it postage stamp,
yeah.
which means it's gone in the top right corner.
Oh,
where a postage
like where a
stamp would go
stamp
on.
goes.
But he said something which, on the face of it, sounds like a perfectly legitimate football comment.
But also completely unbased on any sort of fact or
but it's a bit
science.
like, foot like a traction engine or something like
great
that.
The Alan Partridge commentary, if you haven't heard it, and I can't imagine you haven't, but
Is-
if you haven't,
is
you
incredible.
should watch it.
I watched it again the other day.
Yeah,
It was
it's
amazing.
I've been known in the heat of a sports moment, and I don't watch sports a lot, to say something equivalent to that. Like, oh, he's not coming back from that, based on nothing.
And everyone
You
goes,
know,
yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you don't get caught out for it, and then I'll look back at like a few minutes later, and be like, what was that based on, Nick?
The key to people respecting you as a football fan is belligerence.
Oh, I see. If you repeat your point louder.
If you say it louder than the other person, then they'll have to back down.
I like I do like the idea that there's a kind of mutual understanding where even the person who's being shouted down will go like, yeah, you made a good point. Like,
Yeah,
I
to be
have-
fair,
I have
he said it louder. so to be
Genuinely
fair.
fallen out with friends watching a football match I do not care about. Genuinely.
I'm not invested in either team.
I've fallen out with like good friends during a match. Had to walk off and gone. I remember doing it. Because my friend, I'll say his name, Isaac, is a referee. He does refereeing for amateur
right.
sides. And there was a red card in a game. I can't remember the game. It was years ago. I went, "Oh, what do you reckon, Isaac? Red card or not?" He goes, "Oh, well, it's all about a tapestry of grey areas and all this." And I was like, "Red or not, Isaac? You're a ref. You make a decision.
What
red
would
or
you have
not."
done now?
What would you have done? Go, well, I'd have to see again. But you can't. You're the ref. You're the ref. And then we just ended up falling out.
It's like a Coen Brothers script. I'm imagining it's like my moment go, hey, Isaac, red card or not? Well, red
Red or
card
yellow.
It was a
not.
bit like that.
Yeah.
Red
I
or
remember
yellow.
ranting at the bar going, just because he's a fucking ref, he thinks he can speak down to everyone. I went mental. And then 5 minutes later, it was fine.
Were you quite drunk?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. No, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Genuine question. As and when football does eventually come home,
It's got to come home at some point.
will Bedealing Skinner and that guy from the Lightning Seeds?
Apparently, they're already talking.
Yes,
About-
this is my question.
Yeah.
Will things you can't?
I hope they don't, because you can't.
The thing is, the song is prospective.
The so-
It's coming home. It hasn't come home. You can't sing a song about football. Has come home.
I'm sure if we win the World Cup, they will release a song.
They've got
And that's fine. People can do whatever the fuck they want for a month after we win the World Cup. It won't matter. Everyone's off work. The economy's going to collapse. Everyone's going to be drunk 24 hours a day. It's going to be brilliant.
My worry is that if we actually,
probably right
if we actually win, we're all going to be so drunk, as you say, for 4 solid weeks, that no one will notice that some terrible form of legislature will pass through government. And
Oh, wait
government
for all
will
the
be out as
Conservative
well.
Party announcements when England win the World Cup.
yeah, we finally sober up and we find we now live in farms.
Yeah.
You know, this strikes me as a powerful difference between England and Japan. I was just thinking about because, England, the country shuts down if we win the World Cup.
Oh, yeah.
Japan, the country shuts down when Dragon Quest IX comes out.
Because everyone goes, oh my god.
It will just be pandemonium.
I know it will.
If
I
England,
think I'll be pretty over the moon.
I mean,
to be fair.
Tuesday night was pandemonium. I
Yeah.
can barely imagine. And I'm in London for the World
Is-
Cup final.
But this isn't aside from when they won, this isn't the furthest that England has got.
No, the furthest they've got since they won the World Cup in 1966 is the semi-final in Italia 90.
So, but we're losing our mind right now because of a penalty shootout, basically.
Because it was a super tense moment.
Yeah.
Because it's the first time we've won a penalty shootout. We
That's
always
also
lose
significant.
penalty shootouts.
Yeah.
Always. And no one expected this team to do anything. And now, based on the path we have, there is a genuine chance we could get to the final. It's not just us ramping it up because we're excited. It's based on the teams we're playing, we can beat all three of those teams. We can. I'm not saying we will. I'm saying we definitely
So
can.
what? Sweden,
then Croatia or Russia in the semi.
And then the final would be...
Brazil.
Probably Brazil.
Probably
Maybe
Brazil.
France.
Yeah, it's hard to predict, isn't it? This point?
I don't want to be a downer, but I feel Brazil will wear as like a cheap paper hat. Like,
Yeah, probably.
yeah.
Again, that is you doing a football
But you get
comment.
to a final.
Apropos
and
of nothing.
What's happening?
You get to a final, you play the game of your life. You know, these aren't...
That's
the,
true.
the England players aren't chumps who haven't kicked a football before.
Like
It's,
me, for
it's
example.
11v11, and if we get to a final...
Look at you're doing it as well.
I'm doing it as
It's
well.
like a virus.
But it is, it's 11 blokes
Yeah, but
versus
this
11
guy's
blokes.
seen 800
Yeah.
games. Like, you're talking about Brazil like you fucking know shit.
I've seen more surprising things happen than England beating Brazil.
Just a genuine.
I've seen England beat Brazil.
There you go.
I was at Wembley once, England beat Brazil.
Oh, was that a game that meant anything?
No, it was friendly.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Fuck.
Probably
but
not
it's
quite
training.
the same.
Brazil were having a rest. They weren't.
And this
really
was involved none of the players who will play in the World Cup final.
Irrelevant.
One thing I like is I don't. You know that I don't follow football, but
I'm
through,
acutely aware of
through
that.
osmosis over the years, I've tended to absorb a little bit off you and Holton and the others. I kind of like the fact, this is all like my only opinion on the World Cup, is that I don't know anything about the current England team, which I think is good. Because previously I'd be like, well, he's the adulterer, he's the drunkard, he punched a guy once.
They genuinely seem like a nice bunch of blokes.
Yeah, like, which is...
All I know about them is that there's a big poster, like full window in Marks and Spencer of them all wearing suits. And Marks and Spencer's like official suit supplier to the England team.
They love it.
And I saw them all, and I was like, those are some beautiful boys. That's all I know.
Good-looking lads.
I was looking for a jacket the other day, and I popped into the establishment where we bought the suits for my
Slaters.
wedding.
Ah, yes.
Oh, sorry.
There we go,
Slaters.
there we go.
Not a sponsor.
And there was a gentleman trying on a suit, and the kind of the tailor, if you will, the gentleman who was talking him through it, talking with a degree of authority.
With the tape measure around his neck.
Like me now.
Yeah, the same way you talk about a football game.
Sure.
Was using the England football squad
Oh.
as a talking point.
Waistcoats.
But yeah, he was basically saying, like, he said, I don't personally see the point in waistcoats. He's saying, you see the England football team going off to a game in exotic climes, you know, they've got a three-piece suit on. You don't want a three-piece suit. You
Wow.
don't want to be hot. When they're running down the pitch.
They don't play in their three-piece suits.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Okay, that's a good
right.
thing to know.
Gareth Southgate's worn a waistcoat on the sidelines during all the games, and apparently there's been a 35% increase in the sale of waistcoats during the World Cup.
My God.
He was a player, am I right?
Was missed a penalty in Euro '96, which was a semi-final, the European Championship, not a World Cup. Famously missed a penalty, and we lost the shootout because of that.
Oh.
So for him the other night, it was just
So wait, is he
Oh, wow,
is he the
okay.
manager?
he's the manager,
Oh.
Gareth Southgate.
Because I thought he was a player, and I kept
Used
thinking,
to be.
even I remember a
Because the
Southgate
thing is,
back in the day.
despite never being into football, I used to collect football stickers at school.
Oh,
Yes,
you got it.
yeah,
And I loved it. I fucking loved it. I used to have the albums. I used to like do all the swapsies and everything with kids at school and stuff. And as a result, again, kind of through osmosis, like because they would always do like special ones for the Euros, special ones for the World Cup as well,
Yeah.
and I'd collect those.
Chinese.
And so yeah, exactly, shinies. God, I'm still excited about them.
They still do sticker books for the World Cup.
Yeah, I don't know if
I did at the last World Cup.
But I picked up names, is what I'm getting at. I
Yeah.
picked up
Yeah.
player names, and so I'm sometimes I hear like an old player, and I'm like, I remember them. I used to have his shiny.
Well, he was a decent centre back, Gareth Southgate. He was fine.
I always remember with the sticker books, because I collected them as well. It was almost like a deck of cards. 'Cause you could get all the players, but then the crest.
It's like they were suits.
You get the shield, couldn't you?
Yeah, because it was like the face card was the badge, and then you had the whole team, and that was the
You had a
suit.
squad photo, and then you had the individual photos.
Oh, that's right. You had a squad photo as well. Yeah.
I feel
And
that's
one of the ground, maybe. The
Yeah, I
stadium.
think grounds maybe were one.
I feel that's most of.
The badges were great though because they were all the shinies.
They
They
were.
were really
They're
good.
sexy.
That's basically where a lot of my colour association with the team strips has come from.
Yeah.
Even now,
See.
I'm like Newcastle, black and white.
But World Cups are
West
why I
Ham,
know
blue and
flags.
maroon.
That's that sort of thing.
Yeah,
It's
true.
association, isn't
Yeah.
it? That's why I'm so good with flags.
Learning colours.
Yeah, you are amazing with flags.
Thank you.
Actually, yeah.
Really good.
So, you know.
Shall we do the
Oh,
show?
yeah.
Oh,
We're
the
doing
actual,
it-
the actual
we're doing a
podcast we're meant to be
podcast,
doing, yeah. Who has a hate they would like to start us with?
I'll do it if you want.
Oh,
Here we
yeah.
go. Here we
I'll
go.
go for it. Right, I thought of this today, and I'll get into why shortly. Faux ignorance.
Interesting.
I'm gonna
Okay.
fake ignorance. People who pretend, oh, I didn't realise. You did. Come on, I hate that.
Yeah.
People who go, oh, I just didn't realise. You did. Come on. There's a big sign like right above your head. You're carrying the sign.
Is it you getting at the fact that they are doing it to cover for the fact that they've been a fucking idiot?
Yeah,
So-
and the example I'm thinking of, I walk through town every day in Cheltenham, and they've recently closed a road through the centre of Cheltenham
Yeah.
that's only now supposed to be open to buses and taxis.
Yes.
Every fucker is driving through it. Everyone still just going through it, going, they know. Everyone's going, you're not supposed to be driving on here.
Oh, I didn't know.
I didn't realise. You did. It's been everywhere.
Yeah.
Come on.
Nothing happens in Cheltenham. It's the only news story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, you know this, and it's just, for me, a pedestrian, and I only worry about myself.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to look after
I
yourself.
only worry about
Yeah,
you.
they're disturbing me. Disturbing my day.
Getting in your way.
And they would, if you confronted them, go, oh, sorry, I didn't realise. You did! You did realise. Stop pretending you didn't, and just take the fine like a man.
You know what? There's
They
a
should
truth
fine
to
them. They're
that.
not fining them, that's the problem.
Because when I was a bit more pathetic in my younger days,
Oh, that can't be possible.
The
that
heroin days.
yeah, that's it. That used to be my get out.
When I used to shoot up.
When I used to find skin between my toes and stuff. Kind of
Nick, that's heroin. I didn't realise.
I didn't know.
I didn't
God.
realise.
Where did you buy it from? I don't know. Yeah, that used to be my get out. It's like, oh no, because I was so like unassuming. I didn't want to hurt anyone. I didn't want to step on anyone's toes. But then sometimes I would do something,
Dickish.
self-serving, dickish, whatever, and that would be my wheel out. And I've made a conscious effort beyond those times to be like, no, if I'm gonna be a dick, and we're all a dick sometimes, if someone calls me on it, I'm going to accept that I was a dick. Like, that's the best, most respectable outcome of
We're
this.
at an age now. We keep going on about age in this show.
Well, it's
whatever.
because we're old.
We're grumpy.
That wouldn't have bothered me. What's happening in town now?
Yeah.
Like 5 years
That's
ago.
very
I,
true.
I wouldn't have cared. Now I'm just like, for fuck's sake, it's so arrogant. All this.
But it's basic.
I feel like I'm in more of a.
We're following the rules, why shouldn't they?
Yeah, I feel like I'm in more of an official position where I can moan about these things now.
Yeah, it's funny, like, you legitimately earned it because you're a citizen.
as a homeowner.
It's like I pay
Yeah, partly.
I pay council tax.
Yeah.
I do all these things. I keep complaining about the amount of litter in town at the moment.
Oh,
I don't know when this happened to me, but
Gradually.
I do feel very strongly about
Yesterday,
it.
it
But it's
seems.
interesting because most of the litter was generated by your night out on Tuesday, which is
Great night.
just all
Great,
Indian flags.
great night out on Tuesday. Half a kebab in the fridge.
Oi, oi.
I mean, like, what society? It's like it's basically an agreement. The only thing stopping us from descending to the state of animals is basically agreeing to follow these rules.
All
So,
agreeing. Like,
yeah.
well, the majority agreing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I feel like I know what you mean. Like,
But it's
pretending...
just you know you're not supposed to do that, so don't do it. It's not that hard a concept to grasp.
It's just sort of like, if we were ever going, and we've talked about this before, like putting together a sort of family tree of hates and sort of reverting it all the way back up the families.
What is the primal hate
to the genus. Yeah, and so there's the primal hate, and then that splits into maybe 3 sub-hates, and then there's like 55 sub-hates or whatever, and it goes on like that.
A pyramid of hate.
This is up there in selfishness. This is
Yeah.
up there in people doing, you know what, I'm just going to fucking do this thing, and I don't care who it pisses off, who it hurts, who it gets in the way of. I'm just going to do it because I want to do it. And it's like, as you say, society is predicated on the idea that you don't always do the thing that's best for you. You do the best thing that's best for everyone.
I don't want to bring science into it, but
Please do.
I'm
But
going to
I'm
bring
going
some
to.
science into it. Yeah, bees.
Oh, hello. Here we
It's
go.
a strong sentence start.
I don't think anyone expected
No one was
to say it.
expecting that.
Bees have this really, really weird genetic condition where
They make honey.
they do. Yeah, it
That's
just keeps,
so crazy.
It
I don't
just-
make
It
honey.
just keeps coming out of them. What's
I mean,
that
some
about?
humans just shit
Yeah,
honey.
I mean, I jar the stuff that comes out of me, but no one will buy it.
No.
What's that about?
It smells awful.
Yeah.
Why is the lounge full of that?
It's going to peak right around January.
Bees have a weird genome. They have a condition called haplodiploidy,
Right.
which basically means they are more related. All the bees are female.
Really?
Yeah, true. There are only a handful of males.
Right.
Oh.
The queen gives birth.
Bet they see a lot of action.
They do. Their one job is basically to mate and then die. They do nothing else.
That's a shame. Does their penis fall off like their stinger does?
And then the head explodes.
What's the one that dies when they sting people?
That's bees.
Bees.
Oh, that is bees.
Yeah. So the queen is giving birth to all the workers, and they are all female,
Right.
and they're all sisters.
Okay.
And because of
They're
their,
all from the one queen.
yeah, because of their weird genetics, they are. If a worker broke the rules and had a baby with a drone,
Oh yeah.
because of their weird genetics, they would be more related to their sister than they are
To their daughter.
to their daughter, and they can smell that. And if a worker broke the rules and had a baby out of wedlock,
Out of queenlock.
yeah, because the queen,
Beelock.
the queen is the only one allowed to have babies. All the other workers would leap on that baby and kill it because they can smell that it's less related to them.
But how do we ever get new queens then?
Because eventually,
Selections and things, you know.
eventually, I think I'm gonna either get this wrong, but eventually, the queen will give birth to another queen,
a super bee.
or a worker will live long enough to fly off
And set up a new
and
hive.
set up a new hive. But my point is, that is basically genetic policing.
Yeah.
Like, we have police nowadays.
Yeah.
So if you break a rule,
If we had genetic police, that would be really racist.
that would be horrible, wouldn't it? But my point is, like,
Or maybe nepotism.
How
I
big
don't know.
are bee babies then that it would need a clan of bees to
kill it?
Kill it.
oh, it's not that.
It needs
oh
that
yeah,
many.
it's not that it's like some kind of epic baby. That
Super
can,
bee.
You know, it's more that just like if they
would turn
instantly find that
Okay.
baby, they would kill it. And it's like, because it's this weird thing where like a worker bee shares 100% of its genetics with its sister,
Yes.
but only 50% of its genetics with its daughter.
Yeah.
And they go like, it's an outsider, kill it.
Oh.
And that's how the society.
Foreigners.
That's how the society kind of thrives.
Yeah.
It's policing.
That's very interesting.
So I'm just saying that the bee that breaks the rules and has a baby is the same
Yes.
as that person in a car going through the boots.
So what you're saying is we should all pile onto that guy in that car
yeah,
and kill him.
and let nature be our judge.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Or kill the Volvo.
Yeah.
Either or,
Yeah,
If we
or,
destroy
The
his car,
Volvo's less like me than that guy is.
Yeah.
because what's making him not a pedestrian is his car.
Mm.
He would be
Exactly.
like all
Yeah,
of us
exactly.
if we destroyed his car.
Yeah.
So we just,
Lording it up in
Yeah.
his
we
car.
just jump onto the car,
Yeah.
we eat the car,
Yeah.
or between like five of us, whatever.
Yeah,
Till
give it
it's
time.
make it
car.
easy.
Yeah.
You know, so we all eat the car, and then he's a pedestrian now, and he's forced to walk around just like the rest of us schmucks.
I don't want.
Belgian beer's good, isn't it?
It's very nice.
Yeah, where am I?
I feel it's influencing. I don't want to bring up.
It creeps up on you.
Yeah, ooh, there it
It
is.
does.
Oh,
What
yeah.
percentage is this? Holy shit! Okay, yeah, that's double figures. Cool. Okay.
Oh God! Wow.
Oh yeah, Belgian beer's really strong,
Yeah, look at that.
but it tastes nice.
I was joking, but I can't see a percentage on this. It's just a. Oh, okay. No, there it is. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wow. Yeah.
Ah,
That's,
yeah, fair
that's a
enough.
number. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's less. That's more than zero.
It's in red as well. And flashing.
Warning, warning! Do not drink whole bottle in single sitting.
Yeah, this bottle contains 7 servings.
Yeah.
There was. I learnt this on QI, so it must be true. Well, there was a French.
Unless you flashed
I
afterwards.
hate that. That's going to be one of my hates in the future. But please carry on.
There was a Frenchman who was a famous eater, as in he would eat things you weren't traditionally supposed to eat, like glass and metal.
Sounds
and
like the kind of
nails.
person we should pile on and destroy.
And I think he ate a car once.
I've heard about this. Yeah, a fellow who ate a whole plane.
How long did it take him though?
I think a long time because he has to work these little bits through over a long period of time.
And also, like, if he did it in one
That's not
sitting,
impressive.
And it all just
If
comes
I
out
ate a
again.
plane over like 2 years, people would have given up and gone home.
also you'd need
No one's going to watch that for 2 years.
No one's
you'd
going
need
to
a
sit down and watch
rectum
that.
of steel because that's got to go.
Literally.
somewhere.
You're going to be shitting bits of metal.
Yeah, that's not getting digested.
It's not getting digested
like,
at all. Maybe the paint will come off.
Oh,
That's the most.
Why?
Oh.
Would... But why? Who's that impressing?
The Guinness Book of World Records, maybe? I don't think they're impressed, though.
But
They
then
just
someone
write
could come
it down.
along a year later and do it in 18 months, and then no one's ever heard of you again.
Or eat a truck instead of a car. Big whoop.
Apparently, he smelt terrible.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
probably, yeah.
Yeah,
That's horrible.
you don't really know what's going on in his body, do you? Where he might be.
No.
Anyway,
Pulling it back.
faux.
Faux ignorance,
Ignorance,
as an
there you
excuse
go.
for doing something dickish /
They
selfish.
do say
That'll
that
do.
they do say that ignorance is no
bliss.
Friend of
defense
mine.
against the law. Isn't that like a thing? Like if you
Well, definitely, yeah.
if you break a law and you're not aware of.
But
It's gotta be.
I sort of tolerate genuine ignorance to a degree.
Yeah.
That's why we have schools.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
That's why we have an education system.
Isn't there
But people
some...
pretending they didn't realise when they definitely did.
Isn't there a difference though between ignorance and not knowing something? Because I feel like
Isn't ignorance
is
going out of your way?
active-
Not, yeah, I guess so,
actively
yeah.
being stupid, like almost like I'm not going to learn that because what the fuck? And
Yeah.
it's sort of like a personally enforced stupidity or lack of knowledge.
I don't know how you can reject learning as a concept.
It happens by itself.
It's
like,
weird to me.
I feel we're kind of.
Like John just said something about bees. I find it really interesting.
Yeah,
I like
Yeah.
to go into more detail, which I won't.
Oh,
Good.
No, that's,
It's
I've
one-
learned enough.
No, yeah, I mean, there's a
I've had
limit.
enough learning.
However, as a kid who was not the sportiest, and as a kid
Who loved bees?
who, let's be honest, was a bit of a nerd. I believe boffin was the word, which was
Boffin.
bounced
That was
about
our
a lot.
word at
Yeah,
We don't get a lot
as
of
well.
boffin anymore.
yeah. What? Kind of.
Boff.
Boff.
Yeah, but you don't hear boff anymore.
I
yeah.
can't believe John's done his homework. What a boff.
Oh, what a
But
boff.
that's my point. Like you, at the time in your life when it's like if you're young, if you're a teenager, you're going through school maybe, and you're being forced to work, and at the same time in your life where society is telling you not to care about anything.
Yeah.
That's a battle, and like I feel that's where it comes from. It's kind of like you are cool if you don't care.
Yeah, I remember because I got called a boff a lot at school as well, and I would always, if someone, like, if I slipped up and made it start to appear as though maybe I did know a little bit more than my peers and had maybe done my homework, then I would immediately start to feign ignorance. Like, I would start to be like, oh, I don't know. And I often
What's
wouldn't
homework?
put my hand up in class and like answer questions because I'd be like, no, fuck
Stop
that.
drinking.
I'm
Stop
gonna get
drinking
bullied.
turpentine.
That's when the heroin started.
Yeah. It's the problems. So they you know,
That's fair.
that has been annoying me this
No,
week.
I like that.
So there you go.
That annoys me.
No, yeah,
as
no,
well.
no, I can agree.
I agree. I've got another one. So I went to a print shop the other day
Oh.
to pick up a print.
My,
This was for work.
System works.
why was I not informed?
This is not Big Punch related.
Oh,
This was work related. We did a test print for a client. They needed to see some colour samples of how an ad would look that we were putting together for them. So we got it printed at a local print shop. I went down to pick it up. There was 2 copies of the same one. They were £1 each. £2, right?
okay. Yeah.
I get to the counter and I say, "Oh, I'm here to pick up the prints for Holocreative." And he's like, "Yeah, okay. That'll be £2." And I'm like, "Can I put that on card?" And he's like, "Oh." And I was like, "Okay." I said it because I saw the card machine,
Yeah.
right? So I was pretty confident. I was just doing the sort of courtesy of like, "Can I put it on card?" That's what I'm going to do. I don't have any change in my pocket. I'm going to put it on card. This was an older chap. Right.
Oh yeah.
You should know better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What about? Yeah. You. Anyway. So I sort of looked at him and it's sort of a bit stunned, like what? And he was like, guess I'm not making any money on this then, am I? It's only £2. You're going to put that on card?
Wow.
I was just like, yeah,
Please, if I can.
yeah, please, yeah. I was just completely like caught off guard, and then he was like, "Oh, okay," and he was like, his whole attitude had changed from being this really personable, like jolly fella to now being really pissed off that I was personally insulting him by saying I was going to put this transaction on card. I know it's a small transaction, and I know a lot of shops have a £5 limit or whatever, but he didn't have a limit, and if he'd said he'd had a limit, I'd have gone and got some cash.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
fine. But he didn't say that. He instead started to process the transaction. So I was like, okay. And then while he's doing it, while he's putting it all through on the little machine and everything, he's like, I suppose you're one of the kind of guys who like goes up to a bar and orders like 2 half pints and says, I'll pay on card.
Wow.
I know, like it was becoming a whole thing.
That's a bit of a leap.
So I just went, well, yeah, I probably would be. because I would, because,
Yeah.
and I just went, I never have cash on me these days. And he went, oh, why? And I was like, because I don't need to.
Because they got this like contactless system now. It's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
It's
isn't
like
it?
it makes transactions really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just looked him dead in the eye. I was just like, because I don't need to, because of this. You chungus. I didn't say that, obviously. But like, the instant I
It was
said
good use
because,
the word chungus.
because I don't need to, he was sort of like, oh, yeah, fair. Like, that's a good point. And he just sort of went, huh, well, I suppose, yeah.
I think contract.
And then he
Thank you.
didn't say a word then for the rest of the transaction. I paid. Oh no, a bit earlier on, at some point in it, somewhere he threw in, I suppose you want it to be contactless as well. Like, as if that's like the ultimate insult.
Yeah, because that certainly would have been quicker, and we wouldn't have to
Yeah.
do all this. I
So
guess,
in retrospect, I kind of wanted to, when he goes, I suppose I'm not going to get any money out of this transaction. I wish I'd just turned around and just gone, all right, well, you can get none if you like, and just walked out. I really wish I'd fucking done that. And I'm so, like, we're talking about getting a bit older and caring a little bit less about what people think. I can feel inside me that I'm on this fucking borderline now. Where it's like, I'm very close.
It's coming.
I'm very close to the next time some old fucker does this to me, I'm just going to do that.
Yeah.
Because this is like the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm done with this now. I'm done with this attitude of like, because he called me a young person in one of his, you young people with your cards or something like that came into the conversation somewhere. And it's like, I might look a bit young, but I'm actually not that young. I'm not a teenager. I'm 32 years old, actually. So calling me young in that context is actually a massive insult as well. You're lumping me in with what you consider to be the shitty little children who don't know anything about the world. I've been around for 32 years, you fuckhead. Like, it was a really antagonistic conversation about me giving him money for his services. And let's be honest, the paper would have cost him fuck all. The printing would have cost him fuck all. And yes, he maybe had to pay a tiny fee, a fee that over time is gradually decreasing on these transactions because the world is trying to go cashless. He still made profit on that. There's no doubt he made profit. I was just fucking angry after that. I was really angry.
But surely the primary... wow, there's so much to unpack here.
Yeah.
It's like... And to take the issue of the card payment out of it, it was £2.
I know!
He's not going to make money on that anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And the funny thing is, he did a special offer for us because we do loads of printing with them.
Oh.
So he was like, because it's just a test print, I'll just do them both for £1 each. So you'd already essentially made a concession.
Withdraw your business.
Yeah.
That'd be good. That'd show him.
I'm half tempted to suggest to our print manager next time we have to do local, because whenever we do local test prints or whatever, because we need to go pick them up that day, we tend to use someone who's just around the corner, because I can just pop round.
Yeah.
But there are other print shops in Yeovil. I could go somewhere else, and I will.
I do that.
I want it.
If people piss me off, I just go, I'm not going to use them again.
Screw it.
I have the power.
Or I'll go there again, hoping he'll do it again, and then I'll just go, no, I'm walking out, and I won't pay for it. I might genuinely set up a situation so that can happen again. I'm so annoyed about it. I'm so annoyed.
And you're right to be annoyed.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder, like, whether...
I was treated like a shit for paying.
How dare you?
Yeah.
You almost want to go like, Darren. And I'm assuming his name is Darren.
Yeah.
He sounded like a Darren.
Old Darren.
Old Dazza.
Oh, hey, Daz.
Hey, Daz. Hey.
Daz. This isn't about the card machine, is it?
Where's your wife?
When did she leave, Darren? When did she leave?
She left me for a chip and pin device.
She left me for a contactless device. She was contactless with me. She never touched me.
I can't see my children because of contactless.
I can't touch them. Yeah.
That's
I don't know how I'd nail that down into a
You're
succinct
right. You're right.
title.
There, we're on the precipice of fighting back against these people.
Yeah.
Like age-wise,
actually are.
Yeah.
And I've done it. I'd sort of done it to younger people working behind a bar. I remember once I was in London and someone gave me a bigger orange juice than I'd asked for and then charged me more for it.
Oh, no.
Fuck off.
And I went, it says here that it's 40p a quid. What our merch orange juice costs, I don't know. I'm not really like up with these things.
What orange juice?
Orange juice. How much does a litre of orange juice
the orange
cost?
juice
I don't know.
charts.
$1,000? I don't know. And I said, well, I didn't order that.
Yeah.
It's like, I assumed you'd want a bigger one.
Why?
But I didn't ask for it. So anyway, I got the end of the story is that I got a large orange juice for the price of a small orange juice.
Right.
And of course,
Needless to say, I had the last laugh.
This is entirely unrelated, but you know how you were saying like how much is a pint of orange juice? I always do feel sorry for politicians, even the scumbags, when they go like, how much is a pint of milk? Because if you gun to the head, if you ask me how much is a pint of milk, I couldn't tell you.
Oh, pint of milk.
Pint of milk's 50p.
50. Yeah.
Is it? I don't know, and that's not because I'm out of touch with people. Apparently, it's because I order my milk as part of a big shop.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
I add it to the pot. I don't keep track of an individual pint.
You should know how much milk is there. That's the only thing out of your shop. You should know how much it is. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I think the amount of times politicians are asked, they should now know.
That should be the one thing they prepare before they go to any press conference ever.
What's your policy on the Middle East? 50p. No.
Prime Minister, have you prepared for this press conference? Well, I know how much Prime Milk is.
Yeah,
That will
so,
do, so
you
off
know.
you go. Out you
Then
go.
just drops the
It
mic
is-
and walks out.
A pint of milk is £3, right?
Oh no!
It is dangerous what you were saying, and I feel it. It's really weird. It has resonated with me when you're saying how you're at this weird point in your life
Yeah.
where
This is the Rubicon.
this is where it begins. And you're
Yeah.
kind of like, I feel that moment is coming, and I can certainly feel it. Like with some people in my life where I'm kind of like,
I'm not going to take your shit anymore.
I'm going to say something.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to feel. But also, like, if I was a younger person and I reached breaking point, I feel I would explode and probably not make my point very well.
You wouldn't be very eloquent, and you wouldn't actually be on the higher ground.
Yeah.
Potentially, because you'd fuck it up. You'd swear, or you'd do something stupid.
Yeah, and you come across kind of feeling like.
And also, when you're a kid, despite feeling fucked over by the older generation, you also kind of haven't earned the right, you feel, anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe you
Yeah,
have,
that's
depending on
true.
what's happened to you, but you sort of feel like, oh, well, they're old, so they must be right.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like, fuck that now. Like, despite feeling like a child inside myself, which I do, I know that I do not deserve to be treated like that, and that I was offering to pay for something through a system that specifically he, because he's the guy who owned the business, had opted to have on his counter, i.e. a contactless chip and pin machine that has no cash limit.
Yeah.
He opted for that situation. So for me to go down that route to pay and to then be ridiculed and made to feel small over that is ridiculous,
Yeah.
obviously.
Because you could go, like, well, you know what? Sorry, man. Tell you what. Postal check.
Yeah.
You know.
Traveller's check.
Yeah, that's a legal tender. Here we are. You
You
know.
should have just gone and got it all in pennies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you accept
Just
nectar
tipped it out
points?
on the desk.
Here's a Scottish £50 note.
Could have given him stamps.
I want change.
Could have given him
In
stamps.
10p's. Also, nectar points. Do you accept those?
No, I think you're fully in the right there. It's outrageous.
I think
You are in the right.
oh no, my beer. Oh god.
Oh, I'm
ASMR.
gonna cover for Nick.
It's all over myself.
Oh,
I'm so angry that I've spilled beer all over me.
maybe we should just take this moment.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, take it away. Fuck it. The ship has sailed.
I'm an adult.
Yeah, I'm
You will treat me like an adult.
I'm
Oh, no!
demanding respect from the world.
I've got to hate.
Go on.
I hate it when people have whimsical, old-timey remedies for dealing with the heat.
What?
When, frankly, you could just put the damn air conditioning on.
Yeah.
I work in a building which is very warm.
Okay.
It's warm on a cold day. It's warm. There's not a radiator in sight. Heat somehow emanates from every surface. I cycle to work. It is 32 degrees every day now. This is the life we lead. It is horrible. I wore jeans to work the other day. I nearly died.
Yeah.
Big
you
mistake.
can't be doing that.
Your legs died.
Yeah. I walk in, I get off my bike, the sun is pounding down. I'm like, oh God, I hope it's cool inside. I step into the atrium, which is like 4 stories, glass ceiling.
Oh god, it's like a greenhouse.
Well, that's just the sound of the
It's a
air.
nightmare.
Oh no. I've got to climb.
Your vision is rippling with mirage.
Now, my options are, I want to wash my face because I'm sweating like a pig. I daren't go into the downstairs toilets because for some reason they're 5 degrees hotter than the surrounding environment. So I go, okay, I'll go up the stairs. I've got to climb a flight of stairs. Okay, toilet on the balcony. That's pretty good. I can wash my face now. But if I do that, I've then got to come back out into the hot area. I've got to go up 2 more flights of stairs.
You'll be sweaty boy again.
And there's like one very tight staircase leading up to the office we work in, and that just gets hotter and hotter and hotter.
And you'll probably rub against someone on the way
Oh my
past.
God.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I took my phone
Leave a
out of my
smear.
pocket. True story. I took my phone out of my pocket. It was drenched.
Yeah.
Like it was absolutely.
I took my phone out of the pocket the other day and it had an alert on the screen saying phone is too hot. Like my phone had an inbuilt thing to detect that it was getting too hot.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
My point is, when you finally run the gauntlet, when you make
yeah.
it through the hotter, and the incredibly hot room, you make it to my office, which has air conditioning.
Oh, lovely.
Is the air conditioning on?
No.
I'm going to hope that you say yes.
It's never on, Nick.
Fuck!
Because for some reason, people in our office have decided that they don't like the air conditioning. So it is a constant war
People are
with
awful.
people turning it on. Bear in mind, it's 58 degrees outside, centigrade, and people keep turning it off.
I'm not sure about that.
So I come in. I am a blubbering I don't even want to say
Dripping.
sweating. We've passed the point of sweating. A fine dust is exuding from my pores. I look like a cloud. I'm losing body fat as I walk towards the kitchen. I'm
Each
like,
step is a precious step closer to death.
yes, I know, and the sweet release of death, some might say.
Yeah.
I drop my bag because that's just warming my back up. I'm just like, oh God, don't touch me. I'm going to go to the kitchen because a window is open in the kitchen. I'm going to pour some water. The water that comes out the cold tap
It's hot.
is hot.
boiling.
Oh yeah.
And you have that kind of like small talk at work where you come in and go, oh,
Hot out there, isn't it?
it's warm up there, and someone else is pouring a drink. You go, oh yeah, it's really warm. My mom always said that if you're feeling hot, you should, I don't know, eat a cucumber or
Oh no, not a cucumber.
And they say
Well,
like
your problem with cucumbers
and they
is
say,
well
you
documented.
should put a jumper on, and then when you go outside,
Whoa, you'll feel
That's
the
cooler.
benefit.
insane.
And I'm like, my God! And that person, I just threw that person out the window.
Yeah.
And
I would
And as they
say.
fell, they had the coolest experience of the day until they died.
as they fell, their bodies slowly just kind of
Cindered.
desiccated, kind of drifted.
He
Like,
just went flame on.
I remember hearing someone telling me that I just laughed again
That's
at
good.
the flame on there. Yeah, that was good. That having a cup of tea or a hot cup of coffee
No.
on a hot
Yeah.
day is good.
Oh my God, that's
because your body compensates by lowering its
that's
internal
it.
body temperature.
That's what
Which
we
is
said.
bollocks.
That's what I said.
Categorical
Yes,
bollocks.
but that's what sweating is it not?
You're trying
That-
to.
you're
Your body
sweating
is trying to lower its body
And
temperature.
tea just makes you sweat.
You can't. Your
But
body
by that
isn't
logic-
holding back from cooling itself until you pour boiling hot water down
It's
your
like
throat.
trying to trick the boiler, isn't it? It's like, I'm going to set the boiler to 28 so it gets to 22 quicker. When it gets to 22, I'll just set it to 22.
Yeah, I
Just
do that.
like we're sitting,
Nice.
we're sitting here, we're sitting here having a discussion where it's like, oh yeah, have a hot drink, have a curry, let's turn the oven on. Didn't
It's
someone
never
say-
a bad time to have a curry.
I swear, someone
Drink a
said.
glass of sriracha.
I swear, someone said the other day that if you turn the oven on, it'll make the room cooler because it'll absorb heat from the air.
Ali said that.
Ali said that.
Yeah,
My Ali.
Yeah, your Ali. Someone had told Ali that if you turn the oven on,
Oh, she didn't believe it.
yeah, no,
She did.
No, I don't know. She
can't
may have
remember.
done
I
slightly.
need to have words with her. Either
Yeah.
way.
But she said if you turn the oven on, it will make the room cooler. And I was like, no,
No.
it really won't.
No.
Like, it's like because the oven is just adding heat.
It's like the idea that if you open the fridge, it'll make the room colder. No, it won't. It'll make it hotter because the fridge will have to work harder to keep its interior
Yeah.
cold, and which means it'll push heat out of itself.
And you're just like, I'm sitting there. I'm dying. It's so hot. I've been hotter this week than I feel I may have ever been in my life.
It has been hot.
It's been very hot, and I've been cycling. I've been doing a lot of stupid physical exertion in stupid clothing on my stupid bike.
I don't want to take the wind out of your sails, John.
There is no wind, it's too
I'll
hot.
kill you.
But,
They'll never find the corpse.
and I'm not saying that I agree with this point of view. I'm just throwing it out there for devil's advocacy,
Okay.
which I'm calling a phrase. But a lot of people complain at us English people for complaining about the heat
Yes.
because we hardly ever get it.
Yes.
And that we should be thankful for these small mercies that we get every now and then. Actually, we do get heat that ranks with and competes with some of the hottest places in the world.
My point is, I saw a baby thrush take flight, burst into flames, and start a forest fire, which is still burning to this day. And I would say no. And also, you say, what's worse than complaining and not doing anything about it? If people are going,
That's
oh,
very true.
people are going, oh, it's so hot. It's so hot.
Turn the aircon on, you
it's so hot. And I'm
chundaloid.
like, there is a cartoon red switch on the wall. Somebody put a clip art of a red button on the wall.
It's got a logo of a snowflake engraved
I'm
into
just
its
saying, I
surface.
don't even have to get up. It is 6 inches away from my hand. I could lean over and turn it on, and I was like,
Better not.
I read that if you soak your feet in sand, you can shed half a degree. I'm like, just put the air conditioning on. I know it's ruining the environment. I don't care anymore. I'm
My
dying.
environment is ruined internally. The thing is, the counter argument to the I hate people who complain about it being hot when the English weather is so shit all the time. The counter argument to that is countries that have it this hot all the time, they hate it too.
Yeah, nobody likes it.
Nobody likes this.
Nobody likes it. It's horrible. And if this continues, we're doomed as a
We-
species.
I mean, it's going to because the reason it's as hot as
You're
it
going to
is.
have to acclimatise to this, John.
No, I'm going to have to die.
Oh.
That's
That's
my
the
strategy.
only option.
That's
Well,
my only coping
I
mechanism.
mean, that will happen one day.
Yeah.
Sorry to be morbid.
At least the process of decomposition. The only good thing to have come out of this microwave we're now living in is simply that my hay fever stopped.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
At 30 degrees.
Yes, genuinely, it got so hot it baked all the pollen out of the air.
The plants are dead. Out the window, it looks like Fallout 3 out there.
Yeah,
It's just brown.
Yes.
yeah. There's a
Well,
death claw
yes.
scratching around the back door.
Apart from all those leaves.
Stop ruining.
Those green
my
leaves I can
joke.
see. Stop it.
I saw
Stop it!
a deer wandered into the car park at work the other day, and literally I just pulled a venison steak off its back. It was already cooked.
And
Can you imagine?
It didn't even mind.
Oh.
It thanked me.
Yeah. Because for a second, it felt a breeze.
Yeah.
The thing is, that is probably going to be the one advantage of global warming, that you can just stick a fork in a cow,
Just
and there you go.
eat a
Lovely.
pig fresh
Get a
off the
pig.
tree. Like
Get a
that.
pig to run past you, and you hold a razor blade out.
Yeah.
It's just, and then you got bacon.
Instant crackling.
The moment a pig, basically like a lazy pig, we're talking like ham. The moment a pig runs, pure bacon.
Yeah.
It's just right there.
Insta bake.
Oh,
Would a pig...
here we go. Here we go.
So what part of
Take
a
us
pig
home.
does ham come from?
It's everything ground up into a pulp.
Is
and
that
then-
what it actually
Yeah,
is?
and then kind of like
Forced to a
smudged.
fine mesh.
Yeah.
Are you
What part-
shitting
No,
me?
it's genuine. Yeah.
Oh,
they-
that was spam. Or
I
is
was
that
about to say,
spi-
what part
spiced
of a
ham?
pig did spam?
Spam is spiced ham,
A
isn't it?
spare ham.
Yeah, there's
Because
a.
it was like really durable during the war.
I think spam is not.
It's spare ham.
Spam is just
I
like
thought it was spiced
It's
ham.
spice.
Spare ham.
it's just bad ham. Spam.
That'd be called bam.
Although
wouldn't
there
it?
used to be a restaurant in Cheltenham that did spam fritters, and they were quite good.
I love a spam frit.
Yeah, they don't do them anymore.
It is bad ham, though.
Do you remember the spam up advertising campaign?
Spam up.
They haven't advertised spam in a while, have they?
Yeah.
Hashtag not a sponsor. That could be a good
Oh,
sponsor.
spam.
Oh,
We
let's-
should reach out to spam.
We'll give them a call.
Reach out to the good people at Spam.
For those who aren't aware, which will be all of you because we talked about this off air.
Oh yes, that's right.
We're discussing sponsors at the moment, but hey, we'll come back to that.
Now that I think about it, I want Spam to be our sponsor more than anything in the world.
Yeah.
I feel we should write a genuine letter to spam.
Right, we're gonna
If
do it.
I cut a bit of spam and put it outside right now, it'd be cooked. Like in,
Yeah.
in
Ooh, delicious
under a
Spam.
second.
People underestimate the latent heat of spam.
Yeah.
The environment would actually get cooler if you
I
put
should
a
say
slice
at this
of spam
point we're
outside.
not currently sponsored by Spam.
Not yet.
We need to save all this material.
When I'm insulating
all
my
gold.
house, nothing but spam will suffice.
I'm not coming to your house ever.
Also, if you're ever hungry,
See the walls?
John's invited us round.
That's a spam pie.
What are we having?
Eat my
Spam.
house.
Right, okay.
Oh, again.
spam is aggressively popular in a couple of the Hawaiian Islands because there was a ton of US soldiers stationed there during the Second World War.
They had it as like ration
Yeah,
material.
and now it's like one of the primary importers of spam in the world.
That's weird.
It is really weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
they
I
love
really want
it.
some Spam now.
Can't get enough of it.
That's like being stationed somewhere and having shitty dehydrated mashed potatoes as the only thing you could eat. You know, and then that whole country developing a culture for dehydrated mashed potatoes
Yeah,
because a few guys were stationed there.
yeah,
for a bit.
basically, yeah.
That's crazy.
Did you know there is a liqueur
Spam liqueur.
called, I think it's Benedictine,
Right.
Oh, I've heard of that.
made by the Benedictine monks. It's a bit like Jägermeister.
Oh, so it's, I was going to say it sounds a bit medicinal and it will taste
It is a little bit herby.
Yeah.
And aside from, I don't know, the Greek island where it comes from, the second biggest consumer of it is a small town in Yorkshire. Because for whatever reason, there was presumably one Greek guy who ended up in that
Popped
village.
over. But he must have been going door to door, guys. This great
Oh,
drink.
it's great.
This
Come on,
drink.
Yeah,
Come
you
on.
tried this
You should
Benedictine.
try this. Fuck.
Oh my god.
No, wait, he's Greek. He wouldn't speak any Yorkshire.
Forget this bitter. No, he wouldn't speak any Yorkshire accent.
What's the Greek accent? All right, love. All right, take care. There's Benedictine in
I mean,
street.
that's Yorkshire again, what
Oh,
he's doing.
shit. we're back there
no,
again.
no, it's
Here we go. Greek accent.
I think it's probably
Go.
quite important that we don't try a Greek accent. No, no. Oh,
they
no.
sound like Scousers Greeks, as I heard. Yeah.
I don't know.
So
moving on to the.
he corrupted an entire culture onto Benedictine, and they love it. Can't get enough of
Where'd
it.
you get this knowledge from? John?
I don't know.
First bees, then this.
Lived a life.
It's all
You have
kicking
lived a
off.
life
Bees.
on Wikipedia. You've lived a life on Wikipedia.
Now, Chris Ray,
Ho, ho, ho.
I believe there's a shocking new development coming
Well,
from your end of the room.
We've been discussing format alterations to this very show.
God, we have.
What you is listening to right now. and this is one of them. I've decided, based on one of my recent hates, that I want to do sort of a roundup of local news. So I've got a new section.
Yeah.
It's called Local News Roundup.
Local news.
Local news.
Local news.
Local news
Oh.
roundup.
I'm excited.
This is the first one.
Okay.
So,
I can't
this
wait.
is the first one.
I
Now,
hope it's something good.
now the general format of this is yet to be established because I've not really given it much thought.
Good.
But I'll give it a go. I'm going to read you the headline, and then I'm going to go into a bit more detail. So this is from Gloucestershire Live.
Okay.
Thought I'd start local to us.
Sure.
But this is open nationwide. Any local paper.
Oh, great
Feel
stuff.
free to send them in. It says, returning 12 TV sets got a man banned from Waitrose and John Lewis.
What?
And I thought...
Right.
And
Okay.
I saw that. I thought, I'll bite.
Okay,
Yeah. I'm in.
So fuck me. I clicked on the link because
first mistake.
Cheltenham has a Waitrose, but then I
Yeah.
thought, but Cheltenham doesn't have a John Lewis yet. It's not open, even
Not
though the
yet,
local,
they're building it.
they're building a John Lewis that the local
Yeah.
paper references every 2 days.
Oh.
And
in
the
the pocket.
subhead when I clicked on it is he won't be able to use the news store in Cheltenham.
What?
Oh my god! I thought, what's
wait.
this man from Cheltenham?
Is
or
it
Gloucester-
local fella?
Well,
Yeah,
no,
so it
no,
must be a
I
local
thought, what's
fella.
this guy from Gloucestershire done to
Yeah.
get banned, apart from
Oh.
returning all these TVs?
Yeah.
So I'll read you.
I feel
okay.
anger on behalf of my fellow
My fellow
Gloucestershire brother.
Cheltonian.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
like,
love that
I
guy.
don't want to see local people get adversely affected by nationwide
No.
brands. So,
No, of course.
So I'll read you the first few paragraphs. of
Please,
this story.
yeah, please
Okay,
go.
yeah.
A man has been banned from visiting Waitrose and John Lewis after returning 12 TV sets.
Wow.
This.
Paul Chambers received a letter from John Lewis's operations manager telling him not to purchase any item from John Lewis store, johnlewis.com, or Waitrose. I mean, that sounds like a nightmare in itself.
How would you get anything to eat?
I know,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Mr. Chambers from Solihull.
Um,
What?
Is that
What?
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 Say,
What?
is that a village
what?
outside of Cheltenham?
Solihull.
I don't know the Cheltenham villages
You mean
that well.
you mean that town on the outskirts of Birmingham?
Oh,
No,
It's
they
like-
can't. They can't mean
it
that.
can't mean that because it's local news.
Yeah.
This is local news.
Local news.
Gloucestershire Live. It says so here. Right, it's Gloucestershire Live domain. Gloucestershire Live.
Isn't that
down
little-
there at the top.
What's that little hamlet? A little hamlet called Solihull?
No,
Just,
no, I
just
assure
round-
you,
just round the
Solihull's
corner,
near
no?
Birmingham. And it took me all of 3 seconds to work that out when I was reading Gloucestershire Live. This is not local news. This is not local news.
No. It's local because they.
I'm going to read you another bit.
He can't use the local
Shut
stores.
up, Nick.
Chris. He can't use the local stores.
It says here at the bottom of the article. Hold on. It says here at the bottom of the article.
Preparation is everything.
Preparation is.
It's
I should have
key.
done screen grab, shouldn't I? Really, but there you go. What can you do? Basically, the upshot of it is Cheltenham has a Waitrose.
Yes, yeah, it does. Just around
And
the corner. in
will have a John Lewis in a bit.
fact. Right. Oh,
And this man from Solihull being banned from Waitrose and John Lewis
nationwide.
nationwide means he probably can't come to the Cheltenham one. Or the one that's going to be there in the future.
So wait. We've got to slow this down. So what you're saying is that a guy who cannot go to any Waitrose at all, or any John Lewis, or shop on johnlewis.com, he can't go to any. That means, by virtue of that fact, he can't go to the Cheltenham Waitrose, for example.
Exactly.
Does he have family in Cheltenham?
It even says here, Birmingham Live has contacted John Lewis for a statement. You're not Birmingham Live!
Hang on, could he? When the John Lewis is finished, could he go there?
No! Definitely not!
What if
That's
he's-
irrelevant. It's not there!
Hang
He
on.
can't be banned from something that doesn't exist!
What if he travels to
He's
France?
not from Gloucestershire!
What if he travels to France?
Yeah.
And then he logs into johnlewis.com?
No!
Yeah, oh, okay. Fine.
What if he's on a day trip to Cheltenham?
No!
No, I must admit.
But that's what we're getting to.
No,
That's what we're getting to. Man who once visited Cheltenham spontaneously combusts. That's the next headline.
I'm not following it.
No, I got to say, this is quite a Gordian knot to unravel. So, he comes to Cheltenham, right?
Let's picture the scene. Man
Sure,
strolls
okay.
through the gates
Man
of
comes to
Cheltenham.
Cheltenham.
Man comes to Cheltenham on a bus.
The mayor greets him at the gates of Cheltenham.
Yeah,
okay.
He takes in our pristine Regency townhouses.
They are very nice.
He-
yes.
He kicks a pigeon.
Kicks a pigeon.
We've
know.
got too many, to be fair.
He partakes of some of the fine drugs which our town is known for.
There's so many.
Yeah.
And he tries to walk into a Waitrose.
Absolutely not.
Oh,
Absolutely
wow,
not.
Wow.
But
wow.
even then,
yeah, because I
that
feel
would
that's quite,
barely be local news.
I feel because I feel that's quite relevant. Right now.
I mean, that
Story is
if that happened, it's still wouldn't constitute a headline from Gloucestershire Live.
No.
If that happened. That's a huge if. He could pick any number of Waitrose stores to not walk into.
There are plenty of towns in this country that I will probably, despite living a full and long, hopefully, life, I will never set foot in. Cheltenham could be one of those towns he never sets foot in his whole life.
I wouldn't imagine he's asked.
No, I wouldn't either. Do you think
It's not local news.
Do you think he'll check every store, just in case?
Yeah.
Because what are they going to do?
I mean, he's
They're
a
gonna
very
have-
sad man.
They're going to have someone manned at the door going, you can't come in, because you're, what's Gerard Chungus, or whatever his name is? I've used that word 3 times this show, but I'm going to keep going with it.
What if, though, devil's advocate,
Go on.
what if
he then set fire to the Gloss Live online building?
No, my point
That
is...
would make you
that
very
would,
happy.
That would be local news.
That
My
would-
point
my
is,
goodness.
what if, by reporting that this man from Solihull is not welcome in a John Lewis or Waitrose establishment in Cheltenham, that's almost like the letter of the law. That's almost kind of like cementing
Reinforcing
it.
it.
We're planting a flag. So what if every local news channel platform around the UK has run this story, with the exception of like Essex Live? He could do a Google search. He could work it out. Maybe they're performing a vital service by pointing out he can't come to Cheltenham.
But even then, that's an internal memo. It's not a headline story in the local rag.
Yeah.
There you go. It's mental.
It's madness.
I clicked on it thinking, this will be good. This will be good.
So
Even
you
if I was assuming, stupidly, that it would be related to someone from Cheltenham.
So you say
Gloucestershire.
that Gloss Live has made a point of featuring stories about the new John Lewis multiple times before this.
I'm saying Gloss Live is incredibly tenuous. It is,
For everything.
it's so tenuous. It's just unbelievable.
Do you feel every local news channel has this problem, or just us? Are we that boring?
I think it's probably the latter. I think
Okay, yeah.
not much happens in Cheltenham.
No.
Really.
We are an odd little hotbed of crime.
I feel like local journalists, just scrabbling around thinking, oh my god, what can I write about? There is nothing happening in this town. It's like when something actually does happen, they send about 3 journos down, do live updates for 3 weeks.
Jeez.
Anyway, there you go. This is a flavour of what to look forward to. Local news. It's fucking awful.
Who's got a love, then?
I have, yes, sure.
It's your turn. So you
It's
should
my
do it.
turn, so I need to be prepared for these things. I'm enjoying very much, and this is sort of a part of the wider spectrum, the current It's Coming Home videos on Twitter
I've seen some of these.
that are overlaid across various sitcoms and famous movies
Popular
and things like that.
clips.
And it's part of a wider spectrum in that there are events that just make Twitter come alive. Like Eurovision's one.
Oh, yeah.
General elections are one, and things
Yeah,
like that. It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
they're just that's what it's for.
Because Twitter is frankly, a horrible garbage fire most
Yes,
of the time.
most of the time.
However, when there's a public...
When it's good, it's
Yeah.
great.
I know we didn't do it this year because we were distracted by the Fantasy League, but Eurovision last year was
amazing.
one of the more entertaining nights I've had on Twitter. It was fantastic.
Yeah, because you were live tweeting, weren't you?
I certainly was, yeah.
yeah.
But there's just these things that they're little things that people pick up on, but a lot of people pick up on them, and you think, I wonder if people have noticed that. And you type it in, and you're like, everyone's on it.
They
It's
have.
going viral. Come on.
I've seen a great It's Coming Home one overlaid on that scene from Friends.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Where like Ross, Chandler, and Joey are all dancing.
There's one overlaid on Shrek when they go into Durock,
Oh yeah.
and the
Yeah.
thing opens and they dance, the little figures and everything. And they got 3 lines over that. That's a good one.
Oh, that's quite good.
So what is the meme here? They're basically taking the song.
So they're taking the song "It's Coming Home,"
Yeah.
and they're just playing it over
It's
clips
usually-
in movies where they're listening to records, or
yeah,
things
or
like that.
dancing. So it's like if anyone is having a particularly joyous moment doing a little groove, then they'll put It's Coming
Like
Home over it.
the Shawshank Redemption when he plays over the tannoy. It's him flicking it all on, and then it just goes, "It's coming home, it's coming." It's just been great. It's the whole thing's been great, but it just got me thinking about the whole wider spectrum of how Twitter does come alive for big events like that.
It's really the only good thing about Twitter.
Yeah. There's moments when the hive mind can be angry and
That's
nasty.
99% of the time.
And then like when the hive mind
unite.
takes itself to like this glorious place of comedy. It is incredible.
And then everyone's just chipping in. It's fucking great.
And as a sidebar, what a song.
It is a great song.
Great song.
Yeah, it is incredible.
And it's so catchy as well.
Yeah.
Like you hear it once and you're singing it for the rest of the day.
I
I
feel
listen to it a lot lately.
Why?
Well, you know,
Which version, Rev?
both.
Oh God, really?
And then back over to the back again.
I'm not sure, but the later version, are the lyrics different?
Yes.
Well, they change the number of years, don't they? Because they don't say the years.
Yeah,
at all,
I think we
do they?
spoke about this last time, but that, yeah, briefly. But
Because it was 30
so you had
years
Euro
ago.
96 and you had
Oh, that's
98.
right, we did talk about it.
Yeah.
So they're slightly different.
So what did they say? Did they say like 42 years of hate or whatever?
No,
Hate.
they
They
just
say 30 years of hurt, and then 98 they say no more years of
No
hurt,
more.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's better.
which was wrong.
They go non-numeric.
We touched on it earlier, but didn't really expand upon it. Genuine question. If they bring out, say England somehow,
Careful, don't jinx it.
No, forget jinxing it. We're going to win it.
Okay, cool.
when England
If you-
win it,
if
We're
you
being
say-
belligerent.
If you say it, yeah.
say England win it, if Ian, what's his name, Brady? If Ian Brady from the Lightning Seeds, Badil and Skinner can get in a recording studio that day, will they do a version with alternate lyrics?
Yeah, they do. Well, I don't know what they'd be.
But or
They'd
would
be
you,
about the current players.
because you
presumably.
could say
Hmm.
you could be like it's coming home, as in they're bringing the trophy home for a week or however many days it takes. To,
Oh, you mean after they definitely won?
like because when do they release that single? When do they do that tying single? Because you don't want to do it preemptively. You don't want
But
to go
you
like
do though, because it's meant to be like a call to arms. Like let's all get behind.
But
maybe
we've already
us
got
winning.
that. They sort of have to do it after the fact, I guess.
I guess they have to now.
So
yeah.
say they win. So it's like, great, we did
When
it.
they win.
It's crazy. It's crazy. When everyone sobers up.
When people, we might be out by the time people listen to this.
Right, yeah.
But whatever.
That's the danger, I suppose. Yeah, you start working on a song now, and then we're out before they finish.
Yeah. So my point is, do they rush to the studio the moment we win, and they're like, "What do we do? Do we do It's Coming Home or
It has come home.
It has. It's
I would do it. I would do
finally
it.
home."
I would
It's
do it.
here. The
Yeah, I would do
trophy's
it.
in my garden.
It's in my house.
I stole it
It's
from them.
Harry Kane's house. I don't know. That's for people more creative than me to decide.
What would you be less
John,
ashamed?
John, I'll be honest with you. Nothing
Don't.
fucking matters.
You'll
If
be
England win the World Cup.
blind drunk.
It's irrelevant.
You may never see me again
Yeah.
if that happens. Well, I guess Nick, you got love.
My love is a video game, so I'm sorry,
Oh, no.
Christopher Ray. But you might like it. I don't
Okay,
know.
fine.
You might like
Okay.
it.
You might like
I
it.
might
I've been playing Owl Boy.
I don't like it.
Ooh.
It's
I-
a boy who is an owl. Well, he's
I-
half boy, half owl.
I don't
Okay.
follow.
Yeah.
You're
It's
looking-
a 2D platforming game, which for you, Chris Ray, is a game where you jump from one platform to another platform.
It's a bit like Sonic.
Bit like Sonic
It's showing
Mario,
my
isn't it?
intelligence, this guy.
It looks a bit like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, Sonic.
I'm ever sorry, it's wrong with Mario.
In my day, we had rings. We were happy. It's always the owls.
Still got rings.
Oh,
What's this with owls?
Is it just a boy who flies a bit?
Yeah, so it's basically
I can see in the dark.
Paint us a picture.
it's a platformer without the
Shits
worry
pellets.
of falling because you can fly, which
Oh.
initially might sound
Takes away all the jeopardy, doesn't
takes
it?
some of the drama away from it. But it is a very well put together, very beautiful, very fun to play game. It's like an adventure game. You're exploring a sort of fantastic world of floating islands hanging in a beautiful blue sky. Ancient temples to explore, people to meet. It's just glorious, and I feel like it's the game I've been looking for quite a
Oh
while.
my, that's a big statement.
Uh,
I should put
I'm-
that on the box.
I'm a really big fan of Zelda, which is like this sort of, again, very rich visual adventure game, and Owlboy's like that, but sort of side-on 2D kind of Zelda, and I'm just loving it, and I would recommend anyone who loves games, anyone who loves platforming games, anyone who has a Nintendo Switch, get it now. It's on sale at the minute, and not a sponsor, but it's really good.
We should write to them as well.
We'll write to Nintendo.
Nintendo ain't got much going on.
Or
I'm
we'll write
sure
to
they-
like,
No,
we'll write to
they're-
Owlboy. Owlboy might be out for it.
Actually,
Dear Owl Boy.
to be fair, we could. I don't know how a long-term sponsorship with Owlboy would work, but yeah, we could try it.
I mean, they've made the one product.
They've
I'm
done
not sure
one
how.
Owlboy.
I'm not sure how our continued endorsement would actually help them.
They might get more sales. A few more. Anyway, so yeah, check it out.
I have to say, my love is not especially kind of
Strong.
groundbreaking at the moment.
Oh, no.
My love is.
You look so ashamed.
You
of
sound
yourself.
you sound borderline embarrassed.
Yeah,
by
it
this.
looks like you almost don't want to say this.
Pudding.
Pudding?
Yeah.
I really like
I mean, that's a weak.
Yeah.
You've attacked us in the past for
I
low
know.
hanging fruit.
That's a weak one, John.
Was that you'll go like, my love is my wife.
Or the
like,
Japanese
To be fair to Nick, that was the week before his wedding.
Yeah, this is my point. The definition of low-hanging fruit. Well, that's shut the conversation down.
Is this the day before you're going to have some pudding?
Can I just shock you?
Please.
I don't really like pudding. There you go.
Actually,
Wow.
no, you know what? I'm not.
I don't eat a lot of
pudding
puddings.
either.
Are you a savoury king?
Yeah, I just have another main course
Just have
instead
more
of
meat.
dessert. Yeah.
My point is, life is hard. I think,
Oh
we
my
can all, I
God.
think we can all agree that. And life at the
This is
moment
meant to be a
is
love.
warm.
Life is very warm.
Life
isn't
is
it?
very warm. I'm not coping especially well in the heat. And I don't know, I feel like I need a reward.
You know what, John? Casper's, the dessert bar in town,
Yeah.
is air conditioned and has a gelato bar. Should we just go there?
We could just go there, have a round of brown. Let's
Let's have a round of brown.
have a round of brown.
It's Friday.
My point is, and this is where I realise I am pathetic and kind of, I get to the end of the day, and right now the days are a chore. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, you're
the
right.
heat is kicking my ass. It's making me stressed. It's making me suffer. I think my kidneys have evaporated. I don't know
need
what's
them
going
anyway.
on. I can no longer process alcohol. So thanks, guys. I'm now dead thanks to the Belgian beer we've had.
welcome.
If I stand up, I will just collapse.
Cool.
Yeah,
Can't
but it's
wait for
great. I'm glad-
That's going to be good when we get off air.
Yeah, can't wait.
So when it gets to the end of the day, when it's so hot, I can't even think. It's so hot, I can't do anything I enjoy. What are you going to do, John? You're going to go with a computer? No, because a computer is a small furnace which puts out more heat. Oh, I don't know. Why don't you do some writing? Great.
No, all my
Oh no,
graphite's
my
melted.
notes have caught fire.
Why don't you sit on the sofa and do some writing? Great, I'll just stack some cushions on my lap to support my notebook. Oh wait, they're insulated. They're full of feathers.
I'm boiling to death.
Yeah.
He does stack cushions on his lap to
So
write. So.
when
I was sweating quite a lot last weekend, like just generally.
the
So I had a nap.
In your own puddle.
It's pretty good.
The thing is, I feel like my time is precious. I want to enjoy like every moment I have, and I want to pack it full of stuff. And when it gets so hot, it's ruining my ability to do anything to enjoy myself. So my only options are to drink and eat pudding. Those are literally like the two pleasures I have in my life at the moment. And we just had a drink, and that's great.
Let's go out for some pudding.
But I must admit, I'm more excited for pudding later because I'm like, I'm gonna have some sugar. Great.
Fuck it.
This is my life now. Thank you, son. Thank you, God. This is my only my only piece of pride at the moment is to eat some lemon meringue pie. I ate some lemon meringue pie for breakfast this morning. There, I said it. We had a leftover slice in the fridge. I was like, I'm going to eat that, and I did.
I'm going to eat that fucker.
And I did. And here I am.
You don't seem much
So-
happier for it.
So what do you think's won this week?
Listen to how
You're so
happy.
angry about this love.
Listen to how happy the pudding is making me. What do I have to show for it? I own a house, got half a kitchen. It's like a building site. There's dust everywhere. Come home, have a meringue pie. Great. It's wonderful.
Oh, I think hate one.
Yeah.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for
Well, it's
listening.
been a fun show.
8.5% this lager.
Mine was 9.
This has just got weird symbols on it.